Alright, this is day 2 of Breakout, and we're going to leave off where the last one ended, and we're going to start moving things into classes and making a movable paddle. And maybe this. I know I said for sure this, but maybe this. We'll see how I'm feeling. It's 6 a.m. I've been up since 3. My throat is really coarse, so as per the norm, I'm probably going to be clearing my throat a lot in this video, but whichever, whatever. Let's get started. Coffee. Yum. Alright, how do I want to do this? There's number 1. Someone should keep track, actually, that'd be funny. Let's do game.hpp. Okay. Nope. Pragma 1. So Pragma 1's, a lot of people use header guards, like if not defined, then define and if, but this just pretty much says include the header file only once. So or only have this file happen once, rather. I don't remember really. I like to put my public things first and then my private things next. So what do we need? What do we need for a game? We need window. Actually, let's just copy and paste all that nonsense into here. Like that. I'm gonna try to get a let's play of another game series going on maybe today, but I don't know. I'm so nervous about whether my kid will be fine or not without my watching her for maybe 30 minutes. That's why I try to do these in the morning. Oh, I really want to cut that, so let's... I'm gonna cut that, so let's just do that, because I can't remember all of that right now, and my head's really tired. Was that number 4 of clearing my throat? I don't know. Okay, more coffee. Coffee probably causes that problem. Okay. Include stl2.stl.h, because I'm pretty sure that'll cause some issues. Is that all that we need? We're going to create an event. Going to need a constructor, the destructor, and void run, and we're going to need, let's just see if I can't get this all not working. Yes. Alright. Now we have to define those, so game, no matter what, it needs to init SDL. Okay, and then we need to initialize our window, so let's go ahead and copy that nonsense that I just... Okay, and then delete. Be lazy wherever applicable. Yeah, I'm gonna go through as fast as I can, so I might miss skipping some things, but nothing has really changed other than creating a class and copying and pasting some code out so that all of main is tidy. Is that everything I need? I think so. I don't know. We'll find out. And then we need to SDL free. No. Delete. No. There is something I need to do to get rid of the window and renderer, but I can't remember what the heck that is. It's not that. SDL renderer. Delete renderer? Yeah, probably delete renderer. I'm not even gonna let that finish. Delete. Nope. I already tried delete. Why did I even bother? Free render? Destroy. See, that's my problem with SDL. They have free, they have delete, and then they have destroy. And that is annoying. So we need to go in reverse order, right? So we need to destroy the renderer before we destroy the window? Yes, because you attach a renderer to a window, so you destroy the renderer first, and then work backwards. You destroy a window, you can't destroy the renderer anymore because that reference to that renderer is lost, or some mumbo jumbo, or it might just make the app crash because now the window depends on a renderer, or the renderer depends on a window that way, and it now infers on blank empty space. So, and we don't really need to destroy the event. Yeah, we don't even need to do anything with that. So let's do game run. Nope, we need to do void. Define our, I can't think of what the heck the name of those were. There's definitions and declarations. Yeah, so we need to define our declarations. And the game loop. While, yep, we need a bool. While running, right? So we need to create a running and set running to true here. And then we need to define it or declare it right here. Bool running, and then SDL poll event while SDL poll event, and then we need to pass that by reference so I don't make a copy every single time. More coffee. Coffee is the fixer of life. And my version of liquid courage and liquid sanity. Alcohol sometimes, but mostly coffee. Okay, so while we're pulling events, right? While there's an event, and an event is a mouse movement or a key press or a window close or a click, tap, touch, whatever. Well, I don't think touch qualifies, but something that the OS registers as an activity or an action from the user, right? Even moving your mouse, this is an event. So if event dot, no, yeah, that's right. Type equals SDL quit, or let's encapsulate this. Did they add this? No, they did not. Okay. And type equals SDL quit, or event.key.keysim.sim equals SDLK escape. Yeah, that let's try that. Then running. Yeah, I don't think I need internal parentheses. I'm naturally always separating Naturally always separating conditionals, right? By doing this, and then, no, stop. What are you doing? Part of that helps me better. I do this in mathematics too, even though if I don't need parentheses, if something gets lengthy enough, I just encapsulate it all in parentheses. Are we over 80 columns? I know they say you're supposed to stay under 80 columns, and I am. So let's break this down. I don't know if that's the right way to do that, but that's the, nope. You keep the or. Keep the or on the same line. It reads better, I think. Right? Yeah. And then we need to set this to false. And then that should get us out. And so that we don't use up our entire CPU, let's put SDL delay of 1 millisecond, right? So like it's looking for a unit 32 or an unsigned int 32-bit of milliseconds. Let's make it sleep 1 millisecond just so it's not, it gives the processor some time to like pause, otherwise it's just going to be like burning the midnight oil or whatever. And then we need to SDL quit. I feel like we have to uninitialize some stuff, but maybe I should make sure on that. SDL init. I think quit automatically does all that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so. And then I'm just gonna hit run because I'm nervous that it's not gonna work. Event does not name a type. It's because is that nope. Yes. SDL event. Yeah, capital letters. That's why the IntelliSense wasn't popping up. Unexpected parentheses before running. Well, this is paired to that. I have double parentheses right there. Okay. Render was not declared in this scope, so we need to delete all of this. And I'm going to comment all of this stuff too. Oh, no, we need more. Right there. Let's try that. And actually, what am I doing? Okay. Comment all of that. Main nothing should really happen. Black box, process ended, yes. Now we need to include our game. Game.hpp. Let's create a game. Game.run. Okay. Hopefully this creates a window. And it does. Okay, so this window will stay open. And let's see here quick. Make sure it's not using up my processor. I have a lot of stuff open, I realize, but that's what I am. Good, see? 0%. That little tiny ticking sleeping. Whereas if and I don't want to do it because I don't know if that'll lock it up with OBS running and then I have like a gazillion apps open. My desktop is as cluttered as my literal desktop, so how long have I been running for while I'm at it? 14 minutes, we're making good time. Demonstration. Okay, so SDL quit the here, where is this? See, this is saying if I quit SDL through closing the window, right? So now if you did not have that, If you skipped that line, you cannot hit that and expect the app to close. You could click that and the app would not close. That allows us to hit that X right there and quit it. And then I also made it so that if I press escape, it closes. And there it is. So that's all done. So like here, let's comment that, right? Just demonstrative purposes. Primary, I should have put that on the outside. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that works. Yep, okay. See, I'm clicking it, nothing is happening. I can still press escape. I did not comment that out, but I can't click that X, right? So that's the biconditional right there. My voice sounds probably really scratchy and deep compared to last video. I don't know, but in my head it does. That's another thing. Why does your voice sound different in your head versus to other people versus over some digital medium? I guess there's some sort of like compression in codec and then the quality of the mic. There's like a lot of filters it goes through. Pardon me, I'm gonna have some coffee quick. Okay, and now I can click that X. Alright, so we got that game up and running in its own class. Now let's go ahead and create a paddle. I want to get that going again. Paddle.hp. Yeah. Oh, pragma once. Class paddle. Nope. Capital letters. Classes I try to keep to capital letters. And lowercase for like generic. Is that right? Yeah, generic data types like bool. You know, well, that's a bad example. Okay, so instances are lowercase, whereas definitions are uppercase, right? So yeah, instances of paddle will be lowercase, but a paddle is an uppercase. Super confusing for those who don't know, but I mean, it's a convention that you don't have to use. It's just most programmers expect you to. It's an unwritten law, right? So we start with what's public at the top, so what people know they can do with it. Private, the things that the person cannot do with it. And what is a paddle? A paddle has an int x, y. No, we're gonna need that to be a flat. A float. And then, why do I keep typing flat? Acceleration x, acceleration y. And I don't know my physics as well as I used to, so I may be way off base with my usage of acceleration versus velocity and whatnot, but no. And then what else does that paddle have, right? So it has SDL rect. All paddles are rectangles, so this one has to be a rectangle, so we'll call this its collision. Does a paddle have anything else? Yes, it has SDL texture. Well, right now there's no image, so there's no image. We didn't do any pictures for it. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And this is going to get further abstracted away from paddle later on, but we'll see. Oop, texture. That's going to be its image file. What else can we do with it now? We can, and so we don't want to be able to move X and Y, so void move. We'll just leave it like that for now. I'll see if I have to do some other things later. Furthermore, let's move that underneath that. I try to keep also any functions or methods to a class above the data types because they're more important to know than the data types. See, if you can't access this stuff anyway, private prevents you from accessing this. Only the class instances can deal with this nonsense. And same here, but at least you can kind of see what move is doing quicker, right? Or that move exists at all. And so you know maybe, oh hey, it moves. I can't make it move, but it moves. Actually, we do need to move. That'll be part of update, right? So we know that we have to do an update. And then, nope, bool. Collision test. I think I have to have other. Okay. I think that's how that's gonna have to work. But for now, let's just leave that out. That's because there is no other right now. We're only going to test for out of bounds. And I still have to isolate. Oh, yes, that is correct. We need to int window height, int window width, int oh, I can delete this. Okay. Why did that not delete? I'm pretty sure I hit delete on that anyway. So we have the window width and window height. I don't think I need anything else yet, so let's go ahead. Window width, window height. Okay. And then let's set width equals 640. Was that what that was? Height equals 380. I don't know. Onwards. I think that's all we can really do with the paddles. Update and draw, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start defining this declaration. Empty file, yes. Paddle.cpp include paddle, and then, oh, of course, paddle. You don't need to define these. You don't need to make the constructor and destructor. I think the compiler naturally provides a basic fundamental one that does nothing, but they do require them. It's just if you don't type them, the compiler assumes an empty one. But I'm pretty sure we're going to need these anyway to define our texture and set this nonsense, right? So let's go ahead and define those. Paddle. Why is that not IntelliSensing up? Who knows? There it goes. Paddle. Am I typing this right? Yeah, I am. Alright. Oh shoot. Let's go ahead and copy this into that. texture. And then something that I forgot to do last time was, so we created a surface, right, the software link between this app and that image file, and then we now put that into a accelerated or a texture on the GPU. Now we need to delete this link. Anytime you create or you load or what have you, like any instance of SDL, there's usually a free function or a cleanup function related to that create. And I think it's free surface. Yeah. And let's delete that sample surface. And that's gonna bug me. I don't normally camel case, I usually snake case. Camel case being where you keep it all as one big word with no underscore, and then you just separate words with a capital letter. Start off with a lowercase, type your word, and then uppercase instead of this. I snake case, which is keep it all lowercase, use underscores to delimit. It makes it lengthy, but it reads better to me. So that's what I do. And so that's that. We still need to set collision. What was that called? Why is this not? I don't know. No, is it SDL query texture and then texture? No. Sure. I don't know what format that's supposed to be, so I'm gonna just type no. Let's look up query texture. So what I'm trying to do, right, is set the collision to be the same size as the image sprite, the collision bounding box. So query texture, right? Code examples, perfect. Null, that's what I thought. All right, so it'll take a width and a height by reference and set the parameters as the same dimensions of that texture. So let's go ahead and type null, because I really don't need to give it any access level of read or write, or read and write. So let's pass reference of collision dot width and reference of collision dot height. Yeah. And then collision dot x. We need to initialize x and width, all of this stuff to 0. So let's go x equals y equals acceleration, x equals acceleration, y equals velocity, x equals velocity, y equals collision dot x equals collision dot y. My god, this is lengthy. All of that set to 0. So this rectangle, if you can imagine, this is going to pretty much make the physical properties follow the actual image properties. And so if we didn't set collision to being matching the image properties, then it would just, that's how your clipping and whatnot happens, right? That's over 80, isn't it? Yeah, that's 103. Yikes. Can I break this up without repercussions? Probably. Should be fine. I don't even know if this is a clean way to do it, but that's how I do it. Like, I tab inside to say, hey, this line is a continuation of the previous line. I don't know if that's normal conventions or not. It's just some habit that I got into for readability, and if I'm the one reading the code most of the time, then by George, that's what I'm going to do. There, chased some coffee down with orange juice. because that's the type of rebel I am. Okay. I don't feel like it. A lot of the IntelliSense is not working. So, width was not declared in this scope. Height was not declared in this scope. Window width, window height. It would make sense if I finished the name. I even typed it right there. How did I miss that? Probably because I typed this before I typed that. I think I did. Something else is not working. Event was not declared in this scope. Oh, shoot. Why is event not working? Did I mess something up? Ah. I must have highlighted that and typed over it. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Okay. Let's just try that. Paddle class does not name a type. Paddle does not name a type. That's why IntelliSense wasn't working. Keywords are lowercase. And then we have to include SDL2, SDL. Okay. Render was not declared in this scope. Shoot. Shoot. Okay. Not a problem. So, Paddle doesn't know about the render that exists in game. And we have to know about the render to create a texture for that render. So what we have to do then is pass in a render. No matter what, every time you create a paddle, it must be associated with a renderer. Let's create a pointer to a pointer. Let's just see if I can do that. Can it work like that? I don't know. My pointer logic is way off base, so I think I have to create a pointer to that pointer, so yeah. And then in here, oh, we need to create a local copy so it can infer upon it whenever needed. And then here we can go render equals ren copy, render copy. That's a bad name. I don't like the name render copy. We can't have the same name here, so render, what should we call this? Temp ren? Temp render copy render reference that should work right there. And then we need to do a dereference, I think. I don't know. My pointer logic is so messed up. So out of date. Sample surface was not declared. And that's my debugging technique. I just hit this green arrow and I read the very top error, and then it just works. What did I mix up here? No, you don't equal it. You call that. That's why we call it by reference. You don't have to assign it. It changes it from inside the function. The caller is inside the house. Well, it's at least running, so that's good. Where are we at, by the way? I don't want to keep it going too long. 35 minutes. We are making superb time. Okay. So in here, we need to free the texture, destroy texture. I'm guessing destroy is try to separate SDL2 from SDL1, whereas SDL1 uses free and SDL2 uses destroy, because they never removed all of SDL1's functions. And then see, we don't need to destroy this render, because it's not really a render, it's a pointer to a render, I think. So it's basically it's looking at an address in memory for a render. So it's not really a render, it's an 8-bit address. Or is that 64? Yeah, 8-bit, 8 times 8, 64. Yeah, it's an 8-byte address. Oh, pardon me, I'm stretching. It's still early in the morning. And so it's not really a render, so we don't need to destroy that. Speaking of, did we ever destroy the window? We did. Okay, so that's all working. We need to now do the update and draw. Just making sure. Just gonna run through the list of locals here quick. But we can at least do this, right? We can at least do render equals null pointer. And we can make it so it no longer points at that, because if that were to deleted, paddle goes out of scope, deletes itself. We don't want it to take the render to the main game window down. So like, let's say there's a temporary paddle on screen and you happen to break it. Let's say paddles had health or something. You broke it, you wanted it to destroy. This is a bad example, but you don't want that render to accidentally take out, or you don't want the paddle to take out the render with it. Alright, so void paddle move, and no, do not add a semicolon after the, well, I don't know what you would call this, like the header of a function, defining a function, I don't know. And then we need to draw, and I did it again. Okay, so I'm not going to move yet, but we can at least draw. So SDL render copy, and then we need to copy onto the render the texture. The source rect is going to be null, because it's just going to be the image. I don't think I'm going to have a sprite sheet. So source rect is saying, hey, from that texture, do you want to only copy a certain part of that texture on? Like if you have a sprite sheet where you have like different parts of an animation, you can set that in there. And then we need to do the destination copy, which is going to be collision. And if I do this, is X and Y really needed? I don't think so. But we'll delete that. Let's leave a note. So if we have a texture and that has an X and Y, or a rect and that has an X and Y with a width and a height, we may not need, but yeah, we do, float representations. Yeah, we're gonna need that float representation. Okay, render copy. And then to move it, x plus equals velocity x, y plus equals velocity y. We'll deal with acceleration later. And like I said, I'm super rusty on my physics. I don't know. I think you accelerate, which gives you a velocity, and then you apply that velocity to your local coordinates on the screen, the x and y. And then we have to... Okay, so this is going to be confusing, but this is the way it's going to have to work, right? So the way to get smooth movement is float your x and y, and float gives you a decimal point, right? So we need to, but you can't draw on part of a pixel. A pixel is like the bare minimum on your screen. There is no sub-pixel. You just get more pixels with your, 1080 versus your ultra high def versus your 4K, and 5K I think is coming out soon. So you just add more pixels. So what we need to do, because you can't draw that, is we need to truncate the x and y down onto collision. Basically round off collision as kind of like an estimation of the true x and y. It's super confusing, but it's the way that fluid movements work. So we need to go collision.x equals, that's, and then this is the C style. There's a C++ style, I think, where you have to call a function of static cast, but I'm not going to worry about that. And then collision y equals int y, and what that's saying is, hey, these are floats, this is an int, right? The left hand side is expecting an int. Is there a way I can peek at that? Yeah, see? Int, 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 int. You can't move a float over to an int, but you can say, hey, treat it as an int. That's what this is doing. It's like, I know this is a float, but pretend it's an int, and that's going to just, I think, truncate or cut off the decimal point numbers, so it's automatically rounded down, I want to say. I might be off base there, but we'll get to that bridge if it comes. Okay. Now we have to find a way to apply a velocity. And so to do that, collision test is going to have to know about, is there a way to get the window from a render? Probably. Get render info. No. Okay. I was hoping I could find a way to pull the window dimensions, so... Collision test would have to know about an other. We'll get to that later. Yeah, we'll get to that later. What was I about to do again? See, I always go off on tangents, and then I forget what my initial intention was. Oh yeah, we need to apply velocity. So yeah, stop. All right, movement handlers. Void move left void move right. And then let's do that after. Before. Void paddle move right. And then void paddle move left. Dang it. All of this can be put into update, to be honest. Delta time. No, because we still have to be able to. Yeah. Okay. Velocity. Okay, so screen space on SDL, screen space starts top left as 00, bottom right as 640 by 380. So we want to move right, we have to add to our X. Let's add some random number. 1. So random. Now let's go 5. Now let's go 1. Yeah. And then if, let's cap it. Or clamp it, or whatever. Velocity x is greater than 5, or velocity x equals 4. And then let's do the same thing, except reverse the values. Minus equals and is less than negative. Sorry, I'm having brain farts all of a sudden, so I have to stop and think. Wow, this is taking a while. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a ball on the screen yet because I've been going for 47 minutes and we really have to at least get this moving. So let's just quickly make sure it compiles, everything works, and it does. Let's go ahead in game and let's create okay, so let's keep the basics down below and go paddle. Paddle.h pp. No. Paddle. Yeah, there we go. My neighbors are so noisy with their door. It upsets me because if they wake up my daughter or my dogs start barking because of it, like they were fighting at 3 a.m. this morning. They didn't wake me up, I was already up, but they were fighting and yelling and cursing at 3 a.m. I was about ready to call the local police on a domestic dispute / noise ordinance issue, and they do this at least 2-3 times a week, so paddle. Nope. Paddle. Original. Call up an instance, but then you create it after that instance. I know it's stupid. It's like saying int, which normally C++ can't do unless you do like something like that. But it is as silly as that. But we could call it player paddle if it makes people more comfortable. Bother. Yep. That's going to be an issue. We need to create a pointer, and the reason is because paddle expects a render, and we don't know about the render yet here in class. So if I did just a regular paddle, I would have to right here pass in a render, which is right there, but that render is not defined yet. Super confusing, I know. So we're going to create a pointer, and then in game CPP we're going to do, where am I looking at? Right here. Let's go ahead. Paddle equals new paddle, and then let's do the address of render. I think that should work. I hope this works. I hope I'm typing this right. Okay, we'll assume that that is. Okay, so how do I want this to work now? We have to pull the events, update, and then draw. So SDL render present render. How did main CPP do that? I don't know. Okay, we got our black screen back. Now let's try to get our paddle back. And let's do that by calling the update draw. I want some spaces there. And the update is going to have to be okay. And then paddle draw paddle update, which I don't think that does anything yet. And then let's see if I can at least get that. It should be on the top left corner now, I think. Defined reference. We never defined update, so let's just go ahead and create a empty that paddle update. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully there's a paddle on the top left corner, and there is. Perfect. Let's set that to I know we just set everything to 0 there, but let's actually, yeah. Let's leave that out. Collision X and collision Y are going to have to equal X and Y, so let's equals that. We could probably throw this back up on that line. A lot of programming is literally just iterating and repeating and going over and fixing your previous mistakes, so I'm not too sweaty about having to go through and fix this. So if our screen is 640 by 380, we want that to be at the bottom, but the dimensions, I believe it's 8 pixels high. Is there a way to 16 pixels high? So what we need to do is subtract 16 from our 380, and that'll get us what, 364, and then the width is 72. Using this knowledge, I'll type up some code and we'll go through it. So alright, so we got a 640, right? Let's do some math. 640 divided by 2 to make it in the middle, but we want to go just like the screen starts on the top left. Your X really starts off, the X position on an image, or of an image on that screen also starts on the top left. So it's not center base. So if we were to do this, it would slightly be off to the right, because the center, at this very center of the screen, will be the left side of the paddle. So we want to move the paddle half of its own width left to fix that offset. You know, it's better if I just kind of show you. And then let's do this. I'll show SEL draw draw line? No. Render line. There's a way to draw a line. I just don't know it. think. Render draw line. Okay. Okay. Then we call up the renderer. The X1 is going to be your top middle, so let's just go 640 divided by 2. And I do the math. You can easily type 320, but I'm just kind of like saying why it's 320. It's 640, which is our screen width and height. And Paddle doesn't know about that. Only Game knows about that. I'd like to type screen width down there, but I don't have that info. The top is 0. The bottom is 640 divided by 2. Yeah, I had to think on that. Wow. And then the width, the Y2 is 380. Okay, so let's see if this does what I want it to do. Yeah, okay. Well, it did not draw a line, but that's probably because it's black. SDL draw color, fill color, no. Render. There's gotta be a way to set the color. I think it's drawing a black line. And we need to set render draw color. Okay. SDL set render draw color renderer. Okay, the red, green, blue. Let's make it white, and it's UI int, so it goes to 255. 255 is 255 alpha transparent. I think it's 0. And do I have to get rid of that? So what I'm doing is I'm setting the draw color for the renderer. So you have to set this before you render at all. So anything rendered after is going to be with that modification. And I want to change it back to the default. Set render draw color. And how do I get back to where I want to go? Render clear. Use this function to set the color for drawing and filling rectangles and for render clear. Oh, for the drawing operations of rect, line, and clear. Okay. Okay, so it should only modify lines, rects, and clear. Okay, so yeah, see? We're drawing a line straight down the middle, but our paddle is offset, right? So let's set that width and height to minus. Oh shoot, we're gonna have to do this underneath. We're gonna have to do that underneath the query because we don't know about its width and height until afterwards. So we go like this: minus collision.width divided by 2. So we take the width of the paddle and we divide it by 2. And then y equals collision.y equals 380. And then we want to move this up, which is also minus. So we first set it to 380, and then we subtract collision dot height. Yeah. And that should make it so that it's just above. And you know what? Let's make it hover a little bit more. This will make it so that here. Let's just run it really quick and show. Okay. Now it should be smack dab in the middle, and the whole thing is there. If we didn't do that collision dot height, can you guess what's going to happen? Really quick. If you guessed that you won't be able to see it because it's underneath the screen, you are right. It's there. It is right there. It's just off, okay, because that top left is the 0, 0, right? So we need to subtract the collision dot height, and then we're going to move it up further by about another 16 pixels. Yeah, that looks about right. And then let's get rid of that line. I don't really want a line. Okay, I am over an hour now. We have to get moving. We have to get moving with our moving. And collision's probably not going to be in this one, so sorry, collision. Let's just quickly add moving. Right here, if event.key.keySim.sim equals SDLK right, then paddle move right, and if that's why that didn't come up, event.key.keySim.sim equals SDLK left, paddle move left. I don't know if this will work or not, but we'll take a gander and take a look. Yeah, left and right aren't working. Why is that? Oh, it is. If you remember, okay, so we're moving the X and Y. No? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's just do this. Let's set a breakpoint there. And let's debug. So if I hit left or hit right, it's not even going there. Oh, we're not moving. Move left, move right, update. Let's go update. Where is update? That's what I needed. Move. There. So what was happening was I was moving the velocity. I was adjusting the velocity, but it would never ever actually apply that velocity to its position because move is never called anywhere. It's a private function. You can't call this outside of the class, but you can call update, and update can call move. And in move, we're going to do our collision testing and whatnot. It's a way to keep the code clean. Now I should be able to move left and move right, and I did. But if you notice, I just created a solid line. And what happened was, okay, so you remember, trying to think of the name of it. Do you remember, why is my taskbar so wonky like that? Older people remember this. Solitaire or free cell, when you complete the cards, it'll do that. It'll do an after image because it never deleted the previous copies of the card as it was drawing falling down. I'll show you a quick image. Win solitaire, I guess. Free cell does the same thing, but solitaire, perfect. So in Windows copies, old Windows copies, you would get free card games. When you win, the cards would bounce down individually and do that. But the problem was, is as it was moving down the screen, it was leaving its after image because it never cleared the renderer. It left it. And that's what we need to do. We need to clear the renderer. So let's go over to game, and in render, let's just clear it up quick. Right before clear SDL, before you draw anything, let's clear it. Render, clear, render. Okay, if we clear it, and then draw to it, and then present it, it will not have any of that after image nonsense. Hopefully. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. Now the problem is, oh my gosh, I am so over today. It's white now, and that's because it's a state that I set it in for that line. And if you remember on draw line, yeah, rect, line, and clear. And I set it to white for that white line, but it works on clear too. So it's basically setting the background, what the render will look like when it's cleared, as white. So we want to just, I can get rid of it to leave it black, or I can just force it to be black there. And I think I'm just going to delete it here. But if you wanted, you could go over here and set it right before render clear, set it to black, render draw color, and now it should be fine. Oh my gosh, but we do not, if you notice, he is just cruising. The problem is we don't go back down to a state of 0. So on update, on move, we need to subtract velocity. Probably should do that here. Velocity minus e. Let's make it multiplicative, like it slides on ice. Like let's multiply by 0.8. X. So it equals 80% of itself with every tick, and we don't have any frames per second yet. That's fine. Okay, it's a little bit too slow, but maybe I went the other way. No, I did not. Okay, that's way too aggressive. Okay, I know what's happening. What's happening is I'm only incrementing it by 1, but I'm practically putting it back at 0. Yeah, okay. Long video. It's jumping, but it's a little bit better, I guess. We'll fix this later on the next video. But there you go. We have a moving pedal. We put things into classes, so those are done. We don't have a ball, and we don't have basic collision. Let's separate that. Let's go basic collision and ball. But before that, let's do frame limiting. And then with frame limiting, we have to adjust everything accordingly. Anyway, that's all for today. I might do some more tomorrow morning, and then upload it, or sometime in the morning. I'm going to try to be more regular than Mondays and Sundays, because I'll use up my entire quarter of a year just making basic Breakout at this slow pace. So yeah, I have to do more regular uploads. We'll see, maybe 3 times a week. I think I can match that. I think I can make 3 times a week. That's not too tough. Anyway, thanks much.